In this video, I'm going to introduce a special type of variable called a list. Now, in most programming languages, these are either called array lists or just arrays. But in Snap, they are called lists. So let me first go over how do you make this variable called a list. Well, you know how to make a variable, and I'll just make a variable, and maybe I'll call it foods. You know how I am about foods. So I have a variable here called foods. And I'm going to set foods. Now, you've done this, of course, before. I could set foods to something like pizza if I wanted to. But what if I want my foods to be not just one food? What if I want it to be a list of foods, a bunch of foods? And yes, that's what a list is. So here I am. I'm going to go down to list right here. And I want my foods to contain a bunch of foods. So maybe pizza. And then I click these little arrows here. Now, I'll just add a bunch of things. Maybe it'll be cookies. I'll add something else to my list. Maybe I'll add ice cream. This is a very healthy list of foods here. And I don't know, I could add something else there. Apples, how about apples? Something healthy in there. So that's it. I have made a variable called foods and I have set it equal to this list of items. And if I run this, you can see, right? You can see on the right here, it shows me my list. I can open this up a little bit more. And in fact, I have a list of 4 items. So in just a moment, I'm going to go over some of the most important blocks that you will be using with lists. Snap has quite a few blocks that are meant to work with lists, but we're just going to take a look at these 6. And I think these are the most common and most useful blocks that we'll encounter right here. So this first one will just report back some item in the list. Now my list is called food, so I have to make sure that I paste foods into that little thing. And by the way, this little icon here, that means list. And I might as well just go ahead and paste foods, that's the name of my list, into each of these things. And then we can check them out and see what each one does. So if I say item 1 of foods, if I run this, obviously it's going to say pizza, but I could type in any number I want. I could say item 3 of foods, and of course that is going to report back ice cream. And if I use this little drop down, it'll also automatically get the last one. Item last is apples, or it'll get any random item in the list. Random item, hey. So the length of this list, let's take a look at the next one. The length, of course, is 4. And if I run this, it tells me the length is 4. Of course, if I shorten my list here, got rid of apples, the length is now, ooh, whoa, that's weird. Why is it telling me 4? Oh, I guess I have to rerun this is what I have to do. There we go. Now my length is 3. Well, I'm glad I did that. So the length is 3. Okay, I can add something to my list. Maybe I'll add, I don't know, jam. I don't know why, you know, why not? It seems like an odd thing to add to my shopping list here, or my list of foods. There we go. Oh, there it is. I added jam. And actually, if I run this again, it'll add jam again. What the heck? So here, I can delete things in the list. I can delete the first item. It deleted item 1 of the list, right? You can see that. I'll do it again. Delete item 1 of list, right? So cookies is going to get deleted. There we go. Got deleted. But if I hit the drop down, I can delete the last item, I can delete all items, or I can delete any item that I want. So let me just redo my list again. So here's my list of 3 items. I could delete, for example, item number 2 of the list. There we go, delete item 2. Here's how you insert something into the list. Now you can insert it at any position you like. So maybe I'll insert cookies at position 1. And if I insert it at position 1, you see everybody gets pushed down the list. Of course, I could also insert it at the last position, at a random position, or at any position I like. I could insert cookies at position 3, or maybe I'll do something. I'll do crackers at position 3, and there crackers got inserted. And then finally is replace. You can replace some item in the list with something else. So maybe I'll replace item 3, which is now crackers. I'll make this apples. Ooh, apples. There we go. And that's it. So again, there are quite a few list commands, but really you should be familiar with these 6 in particular. So play around with them a little bit, and I think you should be able to catch on how lists work.